All right, we are live. So I'm waiting for a couple of people to join in. Hmm. All right. So, so as I said, guys, we're always gonna be live every Sunday. We're gonna be live on YouTube. We're going to be live on Facebook as well, where I'm gonna be explaining some of the most interesting stuff to you guys. So we're going to to spend a couple of minutes together. Might be in a half an hour, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Okay. So we are going to learn together. So this is a Sunday, and this is the penultimate English class for November. So we are going to continue from where we left off, and it's basically gonna be very, very. Would you please close that for me? Yeah, thank you. It's gonna be very beneficial, as you know. Every Sunday, we have a series of live on Facebook and on YouTube where I'm going to be teaching you guys some of the great stuff that we have going on. So it's my endeavor just to help you guys along the way with languages in general, but in this case, it's going to be English. So we're going to learn some very basic different words, different meanings, okay, of different words that might give you a little problem. If you see that I'm watching different cameras, is because that I have a camera for YouTube, which is down there, and I have a camera for Facebook, which is up there. So I am watching both of them at the same time. So I need to, watch the Facebook Live on my laptop and on my telephone, and the YouTube on my laptop. But anyways, I guess that's there is no problem, guys. If you join me on YouTube, the sound's going to be better. Okay, so montez sur YouTube, son ap miyo. Et channel YouTube là, c'est Self-Taught Polyglot, ok? Bon, m'écrit dans le commentaire là, Self-Taught Polyglot. Donc, on peut bien sur YouTube, ok? Euh, Mes channel là, guys, sur YouTube. Ok? Ça, c'est nos channel là sur YouTube, ok? Depuis nous monter sur YouTube, once you go to YouTube, you're going to find me, and then you are going to find me, and it's going to be easier for you to listen to me, since the sounds is better quality. Okay? So, I am waiting for a couple of you guys to join in so that we can carry on. I want you to go to this YouTube channel, Self-Taught Polyglot. If you're watching me on Facebook, if you really want to hear it better, okay, you can watch me on YouTube. Okay, the name is in the description. Okay, it's Self-Taught Polyglot. Okay, je dis à nous, une petite différence entre deux mots qui ba quelques moun des difficultés dans la communication, surtout les moun yo appelé communiquer en anglais. Nous allons faire cette différence à tout petit. Et là, nous faisons différence ça, nous avons des petits conseils pour nous qu'à maîtriser. Moi, je viens à quelques exercices que nous préparer pour nous. Et nous avons fait exercice ensemble. OK? Avec exercice, nous allons gagner une possibilité pour nous voir qui j'ai pour nous maîtriser deux mots ça yo. Et dans la langue Shakespeare là, OK? Pour nous pas faire erreur ça encore le n'a parlé. OK? Et juste avant de commencer, guys, même quand vous regardez, si vous regardez sur YouTube, moi, c'est une possibilité sur YouTube. Donc, so there's a possibility on YouTube you can share the videos. You can share it to other people on YouTube. And if you're watching me on Facebook, so you can also share the video on Facebook as well. Just share it on your account, and then you're not going to miss any notification, and that way other people can still find the YouTube channel online. Remember that I have a channel, a specific channel for this thing that I'm doing here, which is Self-Taught Polyglot on Facebook. I also have it on YouTube. The name is Self-Taught Polyglot. Every Sunday, I deliver high quality of English, spoken English lessons in which I try to teach you English from the perspective of a Haitian linguist. Okay, so my name is Rob Valentino Jean. I'm a Haitian linguist, and I'm also a teacher of foreign languages. I am a polyglot and a linguist at the same time. Currently, I'm working on, I'm a natural philosopher, and these are the things that I'm doing that I like doing, and I hope that I'm going to be sharing a lot of pieces of information and a lot of values to you guys along the way using these different channels. So go to YouTube, guys. Check Self-Taught Polyglot. You're gonna find the YouTube channel. It's better quality because this mic that I'm using here is connected to my computer. Thus, it's easier just to hear me from YouTube rather than Facebook. Because in Facebook, I'm just doing it with my mobile telephone or mobile telephone if you prefer the American pronunciation. So I hope that everybody has already shared the video on Facebook and watching me on YouTube. So we're gonna start right. We're gonna get right into it. So the thing that we're going to learn today, that I prepared a couple of exercises for you. It was a question from a friend of mine on Instagram. He wanted just to make the difference between a couple of English words, but they're auxiliary verb in English. When I say auxiliary verb, I mean they're helping verbs. What is an auxiliary verbs? Basically, in English, you have it in French as well. We have different types of verbs. When you use them, these verbs they help to conjugate other verbs, right? If you have other verbs, you need another verb, okay? That these verbs are going to help you conjugate these other verbs. And then the first one that we are going to see today, there are a lot of nuances between these two. There will and shall. So we're going to be talking about the difference, the pronunciation difference, and after the pronunciation difference, we're going to be talking about the grammatical, the syntactic, the semantic difference between these two. Okay, we're going to be sharing these with you guys. And if you have a couple of questions, thank you so much, bro. If you have a couple of questions, you can just put them in the chat, and I'll be glad to answer all of these questions. Okay, remember every Sunday at 8 o'clock 8 o'clock, I always have English classes. So I'm gonna have Portuguese classes in the future. It's gonna be another day. It's not gonna be on Sunday. I'm gonna keep Sunday for English. Okay. And I'm also gonna have Spanish classes as well. So I'm gonna try to, to work on these things so that I can bring all these languages to you guys that are learning. And in that way, I can practice with you and I can also teach you a couple of useful stuff. So what we're going to see today, as some people are writing in on YouTube, is that we're gonna make the difference between shall and will, when to use them, how to use them, and what's the difference between the two. En fait, bon, expliquez-nous en créole haïtien. Je vais vous expliquer un petit peu en créole haïtien. Vous savez qu'il y a des verbes auxiliaires en français, il y en a aussi en anglais. Et ces deux verbes auxiliaires-là, will and shall, ok, je vais vous donner des explications concernant l'utilisation de ces deux mots-là. On va commencer tout d'abord avec la prononciation en utilisant l'IPA. OK, ce qu'on dit en anglais, l'IPA, qui c'est APA, c'est l'alphabet phonétique international, c'est-à-dire euh, une table qui consiste à vous montrer comment prononcer les mots de manière très, très effective. Donc, on va utiliser ça juste pour prononcer les mots de manière très, très effective. Et les deux verbes d'auxiliaire, ce sont shall and will. Okay, these two auxiliary verbs are shall and will. Shall and will. Thank you so much, Richardson. Thank you so much, Bo. So shall and will, these are the two auxiliary verbs. What's the difference between the two? Before we begin, before proceeding, I want somebody just to write in the chat just one example, one theory, one piece of information you know around the usage of these two um, auxiliary verbs. Just write in the chat, either on Facebook or on YouTube. Just write in the chat what's the difference between shall and will. I'm going to give you 15 seconds. And remember, the spelling of these two words, shall, SHALL, will, WILL. What's the difference between the two? Can anybody just write in the chat? Just write anything that you know. I'm just waiting for you. I give you 15 seconds. I'm gonna count right away. If you know any piece of information you know, just jot them down. Let me know what you know about the usage of these two um, um, auxiliary verbs. Just put it. Just put it. And I'm gonna answer in 15 seconds. Just put it. Okay, guys? Just put it in the chat on Facebook, on YouTube. 5 seconds. 6 seconds. 7. Nobody can make the difference between the two. Shall and will. What's the difference between the two? I'm waiting for you guys. Just bring some, some piece of information new so that I can just proceed. Anything that you know between these two. Remember that you can make mistakes. We all make mistakes whenever we are learning a second language. It's part of the learning journey. Okay, making mistakes is part of the learning journey. So, for example, right now I'm learning to speak. I'm trying to speak German. I make a lot of mistakes when I'm speaking German because my German is not, I don't have a good command of the language yet. Thus, it's very difficult for me to express myself in a very effective way. So I make a lot of mistakes when I'm speaking German. Why? Because I'm not that confident. Even when I'm speaking Italian, I make a lot of mistakes, a lot of grammatical mistakes, a lot of grammatical errors. So still in English, you can still make a lot of mistakes. Okay? So you can just write anything in the chat that you know about shall and will. Any difference, any piece of information, anything that you know, just write it in the chat. And then we're going to continue with these pieces of information and we're gonna build upon it. Anyone can just write anything. Anybody? Anyone can just write. It's not a something that is very it's not a something that is mandatory, but it's optional. You can just do it, and that's gonna help us to move forward. Anyone can just write in the chat. I'm following. Lixama, yeah, that's a good friend of mine. Lixama, thank you so much, bro. Yeah, so thank you so much, bro. Yes, anyone can just put it in the chat. Nobody? Nobody? Okay, so basically, that's it. I want to tell you the difference between these two. Normally, when we are learning English, we're using grammar. Um, they tend to tell us that the difference between shall. Okay, somebody's really not sure. Ah, that's somebody really really big is on the live. That's one of my former professor at the State University of Haiti. His name is Finel Pierre. Yeah, that's one of my professor when I was in the first and second year at the State University of Haiti, which is École Normale Supérieure. And then I moved to linguistics. Yeah, thank you so much. That's my professor. Thank you so much. I'm very happy that I have one of the greatest English teachers in Haiti, um, and teachers at the State University of Haiti. That's very very interesting. So basically, when you're learning English, and this is a shall when you're not sure, and will when you're sure. Very good. Basically, in English, we tend to, when you're learning English from school, they tend to tell you that shall and will, we use shall when using for the first person singular and the first person plural, and will we use it for the second, third, etc. This is, for example, there's a grammar book which called Spanky. It was written by a grammarian. His name is Moore, J. Moore. He made that difference. In general, in the American English, it's a little bit different. But in British English, yeah, we tend to use the um, shall with the first person singular and the first person plural. Nevertheless, when we are looking at the American grammar, as Mr. Finel Pierre just pointed out in the chat, is that we use shall basically when you're not sure, And then thank you, Jefferson. Thank you so much, bro. And then will when you insist on what you're doing. And sometimes you can also use shall when you are offering your help. Okay, you're offering your help to someone else. Use shall. Shall I bring something to you? Shall I do this? Shall I do that? And will when you're asking someone else to do something for you. Will you help me? Will you do this? Will you do that? Are you here on YouTube? Can you hear me now? Okay, yeah. Okay. So when you're asking someone just to do something for you, use will. But when you're asking to do something for someone else, you use shall. Okay. And one of the difference, a couple of exercises that I bring, is that they say that when you use the first one, which is shall, which is different from will. In the first instance, with will, there's a desire. You promise to do the thing. You're very sure. You promise to do it. Nevertheless, use will. Okay. It has to be with a certainty and uncertainty in a nutshell. Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. And with these examples, you're going to see the difference between the two. The first one, I will learn English. However, difficult it is at first. I will learn English, however difficult it is at first. In that sentence, I'm showing my determination to do something. I have the desire to do something. It's not something someone is telling me to do, but I'm showing my desire. Okay, I will learn English, however difficult it might seem. Right? So you see, in that sentence, we're using will to show determination from the speaker. Okay. And another sentence, let's take another sentence. I will teach English tomorrow. I'm showing determination to do it, and I'm sure. Okay. And I'm showing determination. You see? So now I'm going to give you a sentence. There's a little trick here. And the sentence, they tend to be the same. Nevertheless, I'm going to be using either shall or will. And you're going to tell me the difference between the two, the usage of the two auxiliary verb. The first sentence is, let's say, okay, you will see Valentino when you go to the United States of America. You will see Valentino when you go to the United States of America. That's one. The second one is the same sentence. I'm just going to change it. I'm going to just put a shall in it. You shall see Valentino when you go to the United States of America. What's the difference between these two? You will see Valentino when you go to the United States of America. You shall see Valentino when you go to the United States of America. And have the same idea of certainty and uncertainty in your back of your mind, and then extrapolate from there. Okay? So yes, somebody just write in the chat on YouTube. Okay? Remember that you can write in the chat on YouTube and Facebook. There's no problem. Okay? You will see Valentino when you go to the United States of America, and you shall see Valentino in the United States of America. So we're just taking this one example here. Nobody. Just giving you 15 seconds, and then we're going to move on. With this one, we're going to move on with another one. 15 seconds. 5 seconds. On YouTube, on Facebook, we have 5 seconds. 10 seconds. Mhm. 12 seconds. 3 seconds left, guys. Yes, Pliny on YouTube. Thank you so much, Bo. Almost done. 5 seconds. I'll give you a couple of seconds more just to elaborate a little bit. Got a couple of people watching in, it's writing in on YouTube. Very good. Thank you so much, guys. Okay. So there's a difference between the desirable usage of will and shall and the automatic usage of will and shall. Okay. Desirable is when the speaker is sure. Okay, the speaker is making a is making a promise. Is the one who's going to do the action. Thus, we tend to say that it is the desirable usage of will and shall. Nevertheless, when the speaker is not able to control the outcome, okay, the eventuality of the action, we tend to say that it is the usage, the automatic usage of will and shall. Okay, if I say I will die, for example, somebody is swimming. Let's say, for example, somebody is not a good swimmer, and we say somebody is we're just gonna put the person in um the ocean. The person is going to swim in order to get out of the ocean. Remember that in English we have two words. We have ocean and sea, and ocean is basically when when it's the very deep part of the sea, and when you cannot see the seashore, we say the ocean. Whereas when you can see the seashore, we basically say the sea. Okay, and most of the time you say that American use the word ocean. Okay, when they're swimming in the deep sea. So somebody is going to swim, and then the person says I will die. I don't know how to. I will die. And another person says I shall die. What's the difference between the two scenarios? The difference between the two scenarios is that I will die. It basically means, okay, um, that the speaker is involved in what's going to happen, the outcome of the action. I will die. Nevertheless, I shall die. It's an automatic feature, which means that the speaker is not able to control the outcome of the action. I shall die. That's basically the difference between shall and will that Spencer J. Moore, one of the greatest English grammarian, made. With will, when the first person singular and the first person plural, it basically means that the speaker is engaged in the communication. Whereas with shall, it's automatic future. It basically means that the outcome cannot be controlled by the. Could you please increase your voice? Thank you. Yeah, it's because that you're listening to me from Facebook. It's a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Can you hear me now? I hope that you can hear me now. Yeah, it's because that the speaker is not involved. Okay, in the outcome of the action. Okay. Thus, we say shall. I shall die. I will die. All right. That's one of these two differences. Now, remember, guys, that I told you that I'm gonna continue with a little bit grammar. Now we're talking about shall and will. What I'm gonna be teaching now is I'm gonna make the difference between two tenses that we saw last week, but we did not go deep into it because of something else we were doing, and then we had a lot of questions that we had to answer. Today, I'm going to continue with the tenses. We are going to see two tenses. We're going to see the present perfect tense, and then we're going to see the present perfect tense simple, the present perfect tense continuous, and then we're going to make the difference between the present perfect tense simple and the simple past tense in English. the usage. We're gonna make the difference between these two because I guess that these are very important for someone, especially when you are the background language is either Haitian Creole or French. We tend to have a lot of difficulties just to use these two sentences, tenses. So the first tense that we're going to see is the present perfect continuous tense and the present perfect simple tense. We're going to just do that together, and then we are going to go along with the present perfect, the present perfect simple, and then we are going to cover the um, simple past tense. Can you hear me now? Hey, can you check whether you can hear me on Facebook? Can you check whether you can hear me on Facebook? Check, check. A little bit. Can you hear me? Because somebody's saying, you can? Okay. Very good. Just low, yeah, the volume. Very good. Thank you. So the present perfect simple tense, the present perfect progressive tense are two tenses that are very, Haitian folks tend to um, have difficulties understanding the difference between these two, especially when it comes to when you're talking about something that happened in the past. Remember last week we saw before now, now, and after now. Okay, the three different time frames according to Stephen, one of the greatest British grammarian, and his book called English Grammar and Tenses. Okay, so we have three time frames. These three time frames are uh, before now, now, and after now. Okay, these are linguistics codes that linguists usually use in order to express the past, the present, and the future. So remember that the present progressive tense, the present perfect progressive tense, in English, it's a little bit different from French. As we said before, in French, in order to express the past, we use a tense that is called passé composé. We formerly use the tense simple past tense, passé simple, but it's a little bit obsolete in French. We mostly use it when we are narrating a story, okay, a written story, okay, and sometimes it is this tense it could be used by great writers, okay, if you are reading books from Victor Hugo, okay, for example, La Contemplation de Victor Hugo, okay, you're gonna find a lot of simple past tenses in his poems, okay, and if you are reading, there are a lot of authors, they still use these tenses just to be very very precise with the time frame in the past, but still, even though they still don't use it in a day-to-day conversation in French, but there's still a difference between these two tenses. Okay, when it comes to precision, when it comes to being specific, okay, in a time frame and in the past. In French, now, in everyday conversation, they use a tense called passé composé. Okay, the passé composé is basically used to talk about something that happened in the past and it's completed. Nevertheless, if you are um, doing the linguistic equivalence, I don't hear you. Whoa, somebody says you can hear me. Yeah, can you check a little bit again? Somebody says that you can't hear me. Can you check that? Not on YouTube, on Facebook. Yeah. Yeah, there's no problem. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Jacqueline, can you hear me now? Yeah, there's no problem. Jacqueline, trying to turn on the volume of your computer or telephone. Yes, Lentini say yes, you can hear me now. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about um linguistic difference between French and English using a very specific tense. Remember that tense and time, these two concepts, okay, or these two linguistic words, because there has to do with languages. They are translated into French. When you're translating these two words into French, it's basically one word. In French, you say temps. Okay. In English, when you say time or time frame, okay, and tense, these are two different things. So I'm gonna just give you the example just right away, and then I'm going to explain, elaborate a little bit on it. So time frame, okay, keep it up. Thank you, Salva. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. So time frame, good job. Yeah, thank you, bro. Yes. So time frames, or tenses and times. You can say you can either say time frames or times according to the grammarian J. Moore, British grammarian. You can say time frame or times, okay? And then tenses. So time frames or times, there are different chronological order that an event can occur. And according to the linguist, there are three time frames. There are before now, now, and after now. Before now, now, and after now. Whereas the tenses are different morphological variations within the time frames. It could be either past, the present, or the future. Okay. Now we are going to concentrate on the present perfect tense. And the present perfect tense, simple and progressive. So in French, if you're translating it in a syntactic way, okay, which is the organization of words in general, the present perfect tense would be passé composé according to the syntactic organization of the tense. In French, you have the auxiliary verb. It could be either uh, uh, um, avoir or être plus the past participle of the main verb in order to have the passé composé in French. In English, the present perfect is formed that way. We have the have, helping verb, plus the past participle of the main verb to form the present perfect tense. Nevertheless, when it comes to semantic, okay, the sense of the usage, the signification of the usage, passé composé is not the same as present perfect. Okay, passé composé is not the same as present perfect. So passé composé in French, we use it to talk about something that happened in the past, and it has no connection. It's completed in the past, and it happened at a definite time in the past. The time is definite in French. Whereas when we have the present perfect, especially the present perfect simple tense in English, we basically use the present perfect simple tense to talk about something that happened in the past, and it's not definite. And the present perfect tense in the time frame in English, it has to do with the now time frame, not the before now. All right, not the before now. I'm just gonna give you an example. If I'd like to say in Haitian Creole, I'm gonna take an example in Haitian Creole. Eh, Mwen te we li, mwen te we li, mwen te we li, mwen te we li. Nou tout se Haïtien, nou kompon sa n diya la. Mwen te we li, mwen te we li, c'est passé en créole. Eh bien, passé ça, en anglais, ka exprime par deux temps. Si me dit mwen te we li, mwen pa exprime ki le mwen te we lan. I'm not definite, it's not determined, it's not definite. Nevertheless, I still saw the person of whom I'm talking. In English, I can either use the present perfect tense, simple, or the simple past tense. When to use the present perfect tense? Well, we use the present perfect tense when the time expression is not expressed or it's not known, it's not relevant. Okay? It's not expressed, it's not known, it's not relevant. It's irrelevant to the situation of communication. It's not known. Okay? Communicating it, it's not that important to the listener. The time expression is not important. It's a result of talking to the person, of seeing the person that is important. Thus, in English, we use the present perfect simple tense. Whenever the time expression is important, is relevant to the communication or for the understanding of the sentence, okay, we have to use a simple past tense. Ou te pale avek patner, ou te patner, ou mte wè misye? Oui, mte wè misye. Ba di ki lem te wè, ou di mens di ki lem te wè la pa important. E nan san sa, nan ka sa, generalman, lor pale anglais ki akademik, ou do utilize present perfect tense. Have you seen the guy? Have you seen? Okay? Have you seen? Okay? Yes, I've just seen him. Yes, I have already seen him. Donc, we utilize present perfect simple tense to talk about something that had happened in the past. It's completed, but the time it's not definite or it's not important. It's not relevant. Well, I just omit it. Okay, it's not detriment to the communication. What's important to the communication is the result. Okay, the result, not when it happened. Hey, have you talked to your mother? Yeah, yeah, I have. Yes, I have. When did you talk to your mother? Oh, I talked to my mother yesterday. Là, c'est simple past tense parce que temps est déterminé. I talked to my mother yesterday. Hey, have you talked to your mother? Yes, I have. Have you talked to your mother? Yes, I have. When did you speak to your mother? When did you talk to your mother? Well, I did that yesterday. Why I talked to my mother yesterday? I spoke with my mother yesterday. In the case of my mother, I would basically use the verb to talk because it involves chatting. Okay, whereas to speak, especially speak with someone, it has to be within when you're talking in a very formal way, and we use to speak. Okay, so in French and English, so we have this linguistic difference between the two languages. In Spanish and in Portuguese, we tend to have the same thing because in Spanish, these two tenses, the tense especially that is obsolete in French, we still use it in Portuguese, we still use it in Spanish. Okay. Um, par exemple, I have seen, he visto. Okay. En portugais, tenho visto. Okay. Nous toujours utilisons ça en portugais. But in French, for a reason or another, they say these tenses, especially the tense, the simple past tense, is a little bit obsolete. So if you are going to translate, linguistically speaking, the tense simple past tense participle in French, you have to ask whether it's syntax, it has to do with syntax or semantics. If it is syntax, you would say passé composé. You would basically say present perfect tense. When it comes to the structure, okay, how you form the structure of the tense, you would say present perfect. When it comes to semantic, the usage, the signification of the tense, you have to say um for passé composé, you have to say present perfect. Semantic, you have to say simple past tense. Okay, with the sense, the signification. Because in English, if I say I have seen my mother yesterday, it's a little bit wobbly. Okay, it's a little bit wobbly. You might hear that someone is not a native speaker or someone who does not have a good command of the grammar of the language. Yeah, you might hear that. But someone who has a really good command of the language, it's going to be it's a little bit unnatural. It's not spontaneous to say I have seen my mother yesterday. It's a little unspontaneous. Okay, just to say that, because it's not because you cannot use the present perfect simple tense with a time expression that is very determined in the past. Okay, you cannot just use it. So yeah, so we had these two the grammar points that I've just brought to you guys, and I hope that it has helped you a lot, just to helping you with the usage of the language whenever you're going to be using tenses, and they're asking you these two questions when it has to do with semantics, within linguistics, semantics, and syntax of the usage of these tenses, the present perfect tense, simple, and the simple past tense in French. So you should be able just to make the difference that way. And then the present perfect continuous tense is basically used in English when there's a correlation within, from the before now to now, and hopefully in the future, hopefully in the future you still have that in the future. Okay, so and that's that way you use the present perfect progressive or present perfect continuous tense. Okay, we use continuous, which is something which is in process of happening, right? So if I say I have been speaking here since 8 o'clock, okay, on the dot, it basically means that I started in the past, and it has completed to the to the present, and there might be something might happen in the future. Something might happen in the future. You see? So that's the present perfect progressive tense. All right. Whereas if I say I have spoken, it's in the past, but I'm just referring to something that happened in the past. And when it happened is not that important, or it's irrelevant, where I'm just presenting the result of doing something, not when it happened, the result of talking, the result of speaking. Okay, that's what is important. Thus, I need to lay stress on the result, and it happened in the past. The time expression is either not important or irrelevant. Basically, we use the present perfect simple tense. The present perfect progressive tense, the correlation has to do with the present, which is the now time frame. Something that happened in the past and it's still up to the present, and intentionally in the head of the speaker, it might continue in the future. Okay, so let's basically talk a little bit philosophy here. Tenses, tense, when we say times, tense is a very, very big philosophical concept. Okay, in philosophy, we say time does not exist, or time is a concept created by a human being just to have a sense of self, just to have a sense of reality. Whereas time itself, if you take the theory of Albert Einstein, the expansion of time in the universe is now, here and now. Okay, so the future is something that is a fiction created by human beings to have a sense of the longevity of the self. So if you take in the perspective of philosophy and just put it a little bit on the grammar roles, we tend to see that um past is just a memory, and future is just an intention. An intention. It's just an intention. The only tense that we have is the present tense. Even the present tense cannot be grasped because we don't know when it starts, what we to consider the present, and what not to consider the present. So there's a little problem with that. But nevertheless, if we take that, if we just throw all philosophy and ideas out of the windows, and we just basically using pragmatic rationalism, okay, pragmatic rationale. So we say that there are three time frames, and the three time frames are the before now, the now, and the after now. Whether the before now and the after now, they are illusions, but still, in order to be part of a society, in order to, you know, to have this conversation that we are having right now. Because if some illusions are great. Some illusions are great. For example, the sense that I know that I am Ralph Valentino, it's great because I can differentiate myself from others, and that way I can say this is the other. Okay, I'm not going to infringe the right of the other, and this is me myself. Okay, that's an illusion, but it is important just to make the difference between you and the other. So just putting all these illusions on our mind. So what's important is to take these three time frames used by the grammarian Jay Moore in his book about time frames and tenses. And these three time frames are the before now, the now, and the after now. And the three tenses that we have just covered, they have to do one has to do with the before now, and the present perfect progressive tense is very slippery. It is very slippery in the sense that when you're talking about the present perfect progressive tense, it tends to be something that happened in the past, and we see the progression into the present, and then there's an intention just to go beyond the present to the future, right? And basically, we use the present perfect progressive tense. And as I said, the present perfect simple tense is basically something that happened in the past. It's completed in the past. It's not definite. Once it's not definite, we have to use the present perfect tense. Have you talked to your mother? Yes, I have. When did you talk to your mother? Oh, I talked to my mother yesterday. You see, that's the two differences. So guys, thank you for watching my content on Facebook, on YouTube. I have the plan just to have a studio where I am, but it's gonna take me a couple of stuff to do first in order to be able just to have the studio. But as you know, every Sunday I try to do my best um, to come up with something not very big, but something that could be useful to you guys that are learning English at a let's say B2 and C1 level. Okay, according to the European framework of reference of languages. And these things can be a little bit challenging, just when you are a native speaker of Haitian Creole or French, and then you learn the grammar in a very strict way, and then you're trying to translate some of the things that you're receiving. For example, if you're working with native speakers and then you just want to translate ideas in their native language, and then you're just taking all the background information from the previous languages that you had a good you have a good command of, and then you just take them and then you just pull them into the language that you're learning or using now. So if you're talking to a British, they will basically tell you what's going on, but to an American person, yeah, it's basically understanding. Just comprehension is the first thing. They're not gonna tell you that has to be done, etc. It's very rare to find that. Okay, but anyway, guys, every Sunday I'm gonna be live on Facebook and on YouTube. Remember to share this video for your friends, for anyone who wants to master the English. This English lesson is for B2 and above. It's not for B1 and A1 and A1 and A2. It's for B2 and above. Basically, people that are in the threshold of the advanced level. Um, but still, if you are a beginner, very eager and learning, as I have a friend of mine that I'm teaching English in my apartment, he's very eager. He follows either uh, intermediate and advanced stuff and beginning stuff. So yeah. So guys, thank you so much for watching. As I said, every Sunday I'm going to be live on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Self-Taught Polyglot. It's a YouTube channel. I have over 400 subscribers. Where it's a channel where I try to teach Haitian Creole and English. Haitian Creole is because that I have a lot of people from the United States of America that are following me for Haitian Creole. So I try to bring these. I try to help these people out sometimes. I mean, I'm gonna have in the future some lives in Haitian Creole, and these lives are not going to be for you guys that are learning English who are experts in the English in the Shakespearean language. But you can just go support me on YouTube. Just watch the video. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel. The name of the YouTube channel is Self Taught Polyglot. Okay, just self. Okay, dash taught. The past participle of the verb to teach, and polyglot in English. Okay, polyglot in English. Just go there. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share the video and share the video on Facebook as well as you're watching, and I hope to have a really great community of language lovers and polyglot. Okay, I'm not only interested in teaching or in learning one language, but I'm very interested um, in um, in speaking multiple languages. So I really want to encourage you guys to do the same. Myself, I speak a couple. I speak six, and in the future maybe I'm gonna have like seven, eight. I want to be at 15 because there are a lot of languages with different um, um, civilizations, different worldviews. For example, Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, it's a language that I definitely have to speak because within the language itself, there are a lot of things that you can learn, and there's a different worldview. Okay, if you speak Japanese, um, Chinese, you tend to know what's happening in the East, okay, which is different from the West. So we don't want to be stuck in the West. Okay, the West is not the only way of living. As Gandhi, one of the greatest, political activists, said, um, with the West, it's like the end of a world. You can see the end of a world, and with the East, it's like the beginning of the world. With that said, I leave you there with this quote from Gandhi: "With the West, it's like the end of the world. With the East, it's like the beginning of the world." So basically, with the East, you tend to see people are very connected with the nature. They're eco-friendly. They're when it comes to semiotic with nature, that is ingrained in their culture, which is in the West. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, but with profits and capitalism, so all these things is they're challenging that primitive instinct that we all have just to live in harmony with nature in general. So yeah, with that said, guys, as I said, the quote from Gandhi: "With the West, it's like the end of the world. With the East, it's like the beginning of the world." So thank you guys for watching my live. It was very fun, and I really focus on Facebook rather than on YouTube. But I want you guys to subscribe to my channels, Self Taught Polyglot on YouTube, and also on Facebook. I have a page, Self Taught Polyglot, where um I'm going to do these lives are going to be recorded on this page, Self Taught Polyglot on Facebook, so that I can you know increase it. Okay, more in the future. So guys, subscribe to the channel not to miss any notifications whenever I publish something that has to do with linguistics, philosophy of language, and language learning in general, or English, Haitian Creole, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, etc. So thank you so much, guys, for your time, your dedication. It's been almost an hour of speaking to you directly through the camera, and I hope to catch you another time. And we have a lot of videos are coming, not especially lives, but videos that I'm going to record, and I want to keep you posted. If you want, you have to subscribe to the channel, Self Taught Polyglot on YouTube, not to miss anything. Have a wonderful evening, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Bye bye on YouTube. What languages do you speak? Oh, somebody asked a question on YouTube. Yeah, I speak English. Yeah. Thank you on Facebook. Thank you so much. Bye. Yeah, somebody asked that question. I didn't see the question. Yeah, I speak English. I speak 30 language. Never delete. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the question I'm going to answer on YouTube. I'm trying to verify it on YouTube just to see how the video is on YouTube because I don't know whether they can hear me or not. Somebody asked a question a long time ago, but I did not see. Trying to see. Do you see? It's okay. Okay. Very good. Yeah. I speak English. I speak Spanish. I speak Portuguese. I actually learned Portuguese at the Brazilian embassy, which is Centro Cultural Brasil Haiti. I speak Haitian Creole, which is my native language, French, which is my second language, and I also speak Italian. Now I'm currently learning German, and I hope in the future German is not very easy, but very easy relatively to the other languages that I speak. So it's gonna take me a couple of months. I would say, yeah, it would take 4 or 6 months just to have a B2 level. But I hope in the future, maybe next year, I will start with um Chinese. Yeah, Mandarin Chinese. That's a very big one because I want to understand the other world views. So I'm gonna be learning Chinese just to do that. Okay, thank you so much. 360 BB. Yeah. So you, yeah, I would just want to chat with you just for a couple of seconds. You always tune in on YouTube? Do you always tune in on YouTube? If you always do, that's great, bro. And how many languages do you speak? Can you answer? Can you hear me? So I have a couple of people watching in on YouTube. I don't know whether they can hear me or not. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this and I'm trying to come up with this. Yeah, can you hear me on YouTube? I'm done on Facebook. Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you teach me a video? Teach me. Can you teach me make a video on Haitian Creole slang? Oh, okay, okay. So you want to learn? That means that you're not Haitian. You want to learn some Haitian slangs. Okay. Okay, Creole Haitien. I don't want to use big words, but okay. Hmm. Bon, créole haïtien lui-même, créole, c'est une langue. Moi-même, je dis créole haïtien, même plus que je dis haïtien. Pour qui ça? Why do I always want to say um, Haitian? Although it's not the official name that is admitted by the academy. Pour que ça, moi, me dit haïtien. I think that saying Haitian, it has to give a respect to uh, um, the country because we are the biggest Haitian Creole, the Creole community in the world. So when it comes to Creole languages, the first thing that comes to your mind is Haitian. Okay, là parler de langue créole, premier qui vient dans tête ou um, c'est créole haïtien. Eh bien en linguistique, là on dit créole, linguistic when you say Creole, it is a discriminatory language to me and to a lot of linguists because a Creole in linguistics, okay, a Creole is basically when two separate languages. I speak four languages: English, Spanish, Haitian Creole, a little bit of Jamaican, Patois, and French. Oh, very good, bro. Very good. Yeah, I want to learn Jamaican Patois as well. Yeah, yeah, very good, bro. Four languages. Yeah, you're a polyglot. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, as I said, so a Creole, l'on dit Creole en linguistique, when you say Creole in linguistics, ça veut dire qu'il y a une langue dans l'histoire qui formée à partir de un mélange de deux langues dans le temps passé. OK? Quand il y a là, les langues, les patois, ça, en linguistique, il ne peut pas dire patois, parce que patois a un sens discriminatoire. It has a discriminatory connotation. We tend to say sabir. OK? Donc, les langues, ça, les mêmes, les viennent contre ensemble. Li vin fome yon sa biye, li vin fome yon sa wele pidgin. Lelil pigeon, no? When it's a pigeon, it basically means that it is a it's a dialect. It's a it's a language, okay? Selon linguistio, according to the linguist, it's a language, but it does not have the geographical area where the language is permanently spoken. Okay, at that stage we say it's a pigeon. Once it has that geographical um, area, okay, and it's a little bit based, we call it a Creole. Okay, we call it a Creole. From that linguistic logic, French was a Creole, English was a Creole. All the major languages that we spoken in the world right now, they're modern languages. They were Creoles, but still, we don't have the word Creole in them. Okay, so myself with Haitian is that the Haitian Creole at the stage it is, we have over 12 million people in Haiti. Okay, spoken by 12 million people in Haiti, over 4 million people abroad. Now it might be more. So, and then we have an academy. Then the language is a little bit based. Okay, donc l'anglais vient un petit jan basé. The language has its grammar. We have a lot of scientists that are working in the field of Haitian Creole, as I am doing. I'm a Haitian linguist. I spent 4 years learning languages, especially specializing in the descriptive literature of Haitian Creole and French. Donc, l'anglais, il vient évoluer. Le fait qu'il évolue, je ne pas vle que yo toujours kembe no Creole là. I don't want them to keep the name Creole because the Creole gets back to the colonialism. Okay, when we're colonized by other people, we still have that idea. And when you say Creole, there are a lot of Creoles in the world. We have French based Creole, we have Spanish based Creole, we have English based Creole. The French that is spoken in Louisiana, the state that is in the in the south of the United States of America. That state was, in the history, it was to it was for the French people, and they sold it to the American people. So we still have a lot of French speaking people there. The mix of the French and English gives a Creole, and that Creole we tend to say that it's um the French based Creole in Louisiana. Okay, thus I am myself, and there are a lot of linguists, a lot of people in the academy. They still don't want the name Creole at all. They want it to be Haitian, and I agree. And I hope that in the future, once we have a very stable country, that we're gonna have this name. It's gonna be Haitian, as you say, French for French people, English for English people. Although in the United States you don't say American, you still say English. But yeah, et quelques expressions slang en créole. Bon, oui, on parle de slang en créole. Et pour parler de slang en créole, pour me dans tête tout, doit parler avec un monde qui est étranger, ça qui passe. Et puis répondre à ma boulé. OK? Et qui soit dit encore, par exemple, si je parler avec un monde là qui est haïtien, et comment ça tout là, je veux dire là, man? Comment on a frappé là? Comment ça, m'a frappé là? Expression, frapper. Dans le sens frapper, to hit. Mais dans le sens ça, pas dans le sens hit. OK? Même en anglais, tout, par exemple, on utilise une expression to hit on a girl. L'on dit hit on a girl, on va dire frapper femme, non? L'on dit hit on a girl. On dit, well, cotiser, you're going to court the girl. You're going to woo the girl. Mais frapper ça dans le sens que là, ici, ou frapper là, you're working on something important. You're doing something important. Frapper. Là, frapper là. Yeah,